Welcome back. We're back. Two fans, one Paul. Myself, David Quist. Lovely co-host, KB Kirk Brown. Got a little Christmas music going in the background. Feels good. We're getting a lot of snow up here in Michigan, KB. It's a great time of the year. A lot of family and friends and just hanging out and kind of slowing down a little bit. And we got Bowl Mania. It's already here, KB. So let's start out to in Arizona, jump into Army-Navy game, and then go through most of our picks. Obviously, the playoff will be more when we get closer to that. But how we doing out in Arizona?
Perfect. It's 70, blue skies, not a cloud in sight. It's supposed to get up to like 75 all week. I think it might even touch 80 this week. So we're going to be enjoying the nice weather while you guys freeze. I looked at the forecast. Looks like you're going to get some rain this week. Hopefully you guys can stave off some of the ice the next day. It looks like it's supposed to be freezing. So I'm enjoying the nice weather. If anyone is also enjoying nice weather, I appreciate it. But no, Army-Navy game was a game this weekend. Ended in a pretty great fashion, in my opinion. It was back and forth. I did see a post that was like, because Horvath, when he fumbled and caught his fumble in midair and kept it and got the first down.
No, he was short. They got fourth down.
Short, yeah. But someone goes, if that happened in NCAA, we'd say this game's unrealistic. It's so fucking broken and stupid. I was like, that's such a good post because of some of the things. But the last down play call, where instead of giving it to Horvath, they handed it off to 46, the same guy who recovered the fumble earlier on the goal line, saved the game for them. It was pretty
last
impeccable.
Touchdown was crazy. They shouldn't even score.
Yeah, and Horvath was obviously having issues with his hand after it got dinged that one time when he fumbled originally, because he fumbled 2 out of the next, I believe, 4 carries he had. So back and forth game. Army ends up, I believe they covered, right? It was a 3-point game.
And the under was 38.5 or something.
The under hit, which is
under
like
hit
what, like,
and Army cover. That's what I wanted. I mean, I wanted Army to win, and this is. I mean, it's the same. I mean, relatively speaking, KB, this game is the same every year. It's close. It's low scoring. Both teams, as we know, play the same offense. Relatively Navy's a little bit more gadgety now, I think, with the athletes they can get. It seems like, and when you have a team like third and or second down and on the 20 for a goal, and they find a way to score a touchdown on 4th and goal from the 8 or something, you can't get a field goal, you're going to lose the game in this game. It's too tight. And Horvath had 34 carries. Hendon Rich had 6 catches. He also ran 5 times. And obviously each quarterback threw a pick. I think that happens in all these games, KB, because they don't throw it. If you have a good safety in this game on either team on defense, you're probably going to get a pick.
The Army guy almost threw 4 picks down the stretch. He was just floating. Yeah. He's floating gifts down the field. He was hoping that his team came down with it. It was the Christmas season. It just didn't work out for them. It was a really fun win for Navy, who finishes off another successful season.
10-2.
Is really impressive how much they've been able to win over there, especially with their offense. They modernized it a bit, still running a lot of the same actions, but out of different looks and sets to kind of get better looks. And there's also been some speculation that some of the requirements for physically fitness, a lot of the guys have to keep their weight down, especially on the O&D lines, have been a little bit eased. Maybe football season they open it up. You still have to pass all your physical stuff, but maybe you can weigh a little bit more outside the normal zone as long as it's in season. And Sam, friend of the program, brought that up. And I looked and I was staring at the defensive lineman on Army and then the offensive lineman on Navy. And I was like, yeah, that looks like 30 pounds at least on each side of that ball. So who knows? But impressive win. Navy got the win. Obviously didn't cover, but a win's a win. Anything else you want to add on this quiz? It was a fun game. I watched the last second half of it, which was a lot of fun.
Who won the uniform game this time, you think? I would go Army. I like the Navy helmets.
If the Navy helmets had blue on them, if all the decals were blue, it just felt very disjointed. Because the copper helmets looked good, but then the uniforms didn't have any copper on them. They had their traditional blue and gold. It felt like they just stuck a helmet on top of a regular.
We got this cool helmet idea because it was $250 for both, right? So it was the original Navy ships, which is cool.
Yeah, and I just thought some blue on the helmet and gold in the uniform. I think the ceiling of the Navy uniform, if executed properly, is probably higher. It just felt kind of disjointed, where Army's was the all white, kind of clean,
marbly,
slick look.
Because it was
it was nice.
Arlington Cemetery.
I think this was maybe one of the. I'm not going to call it a letdown because these are fine uniforms, but just the level and expectation that we've seen the last couple of years, where it's so cool. I just feel like it wasn't that cool. It doesn't mean that they were bad or ugly. It just like when you're busy giving 10s, it's like a 7 or a 6 feels like, oh my God, what's going on? So that's how I'd describe them. I definitely agree. Army had a much more put together uniform.
The Army all whites, KB, in that snowstorm a few years ago, I'm pretty sure they won. Where like you couldn't even see them.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Before Bowl Mania, any updates on the Michigan side of things, or there's one update for Michigan State, but any updates on your side after a pretty crazy week with Sharon Moore last week?
A couple of kids withdrew their letters of intent, which I'm 100% fine with. You commit usually to the university and the coach. If you lose at least half of that, if not more, committing to the specific coach, I get it. No ill will to those kids. Hope all of them, everything works out in their future. Nothing necessarily coming out. Sounds like there might be a huge exodus, but part of that is being driven by rival fans, so like you got to take it with a grain of salt, because they have connections, they have stuff that they can kind of figure out, but a lot of the time it's coming with bias, and then I come with it with the opposite side of bias. So it's usually probably somewhere in the middle, that maybe a few players that maybe we didn't see, like Justice Haynes, maybe he ends up leaving the program to transfer someone else for another 1 year instance. Like that could be an instance if they have to pay Marshall and they had to pay Hitter, that maybe he doesn't work out in their plans. And then the tackles, I know that was a really close connection with Sharon being the O-line coach and the OC for a long time here. And that, development, he knew those kids when they're probably, in ninth grade going to camps and stuff with Andrew Babalolo and Ty Haywood. So him leaving the program could really impact 2 5-star tackles that they got. But I don't know overall what this whole entire system is going to look like. I haven't been super dialed in on rumors. A lot of it is we don't know until we know. And the coaching search is Dillingham and Fish and DeBoer. We're all in the same place. And there's all this grand big plan. And again, it's just I don't waste time on it. We'll know when we know. We'll know when games are done being played. When Biff Poggi is going to be the head coach for the bowl game by the end of the new year. So I don't think there's a huge impact either here or there on who the coach is for the time being until we get into the off season and obviously transfer portal season. So that's where I'm kind of at on that. Any thoughts, questions, or takes before there's one slight other thing I want to jump into before we talk about Bowl Mania, but
seeing him in rain is just kind of crazy. Obviously, we've seen him on the sideline and being a coach, the Ohio State game a couple weeks ago, and then seeing him in like white prison gear. I'm assuming he's out on bail. Or he's out.
He did. His wife bailed him out. So I guess
wow, she is a fucking angel.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I wouldn't even want to see him.
It takes a remarkable person to have that much restraint. An incredible person. I hope that she finds herself in a good position, and maybe she's just like, hey, we'll ride this out, get this figured out, and whatever happens, happens. Because serial cheaters are not good people, man. Like there's a lot of things in life that
he is a cheater in all facets, right? You said it.
But he's a serial cheater.
On and off the field.
So yeah, he didn't cheat on the field.
Bullshit. I gotta feed into it. But no, yeah, the scene that was crazy. KB, yeah, obviously Dillingham's been the rumors I've heard. Curious to see who stays and who goes. Good segue, staying and going. Childs is gone. Sounds like in the portal, which is it's fine. I think that was expected. I appreciate what he did for us. I think he could do really well with a team that has a really good O-line. He has the talent, but it never worked here. He had some good flashy moments. He's got the talent. And then obviously Dylan Raiola is another name in the portal, which is interesting to see.
And EJ Lagway.
And Lagway. I don't know where they're going to go.
Six of the top 7 quarterbacks in the 2024 class. That included Sayin, the St. Clair that went from Ohio State. Like 6 out of the top 7 transferred away. Oh, wow. The only one that has stayed at their school is Ethan Grunkenmeyer, who's Penn State quarterback that filled in this year. So every tampering freshman or sophomore, 6 out of the top 7 are no longer with the school that they committed to at the time of the ending of that. I mean, obviously there's stuff that's played into it, but I find that pretty remarkable.
Yeah, so intends and to go to the portal. So for Raiola, it won't be till January. So I'm curious, like, are things getting leaked or is there tampering? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all coming out. It's a month away.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, he can't legally enter the portal and have conversations. I don't think this refrains his agent from telling teams that he is entering or teams that he's interested on going anywhere, right? And
Fuck's he
you
gonna
can't
go?
have direct contact with coaches, but I believe you can have direct contact if they have people. So if two agents get together and say, hey, our guy's leaving, it's kind of scummy, right? There's a bunch of loopholes. There's even some stories before the portal was kind of even as tight as it is now that teams were using their connections with old high school football coaches that would then talk to their parents about opportunities that other schools would offer them. So the school would be like, hey, we really like that kid. Maybe it isn't working out there. We have about $1 million we can offer him, coach, that we have a connection with. And maybe we'll look at a couple of your kids coming up in this class and we'll take care of you here if you can go talk to their dad because I know you know their dad. And they go and do that. So, like, that's the game being played. Obviously, it's scummy. Eventually, we have to come to, like, a more
Some kind of
stable
policing.
approach. It's an unstable situation going forward, Quist, but that's all we got right now. So yeah, I mean, firmly it doesn't open till it opens, but we know like when Riley Leonard entered the portal a couple years ago.
He knew right away.
Yeah, he knew right away. It was within 10 minutes of him entering the portal officially. He was at a new university.
Yeah.
So it happens all the time, right? People, and I don't know if that's necessarily, we do know that people who aren't actively looking, coaches come calling them. We also know kids who are actively looking, coaches come call them. So there's no restraints. There's no monitoring. There's no review board on what's going on. People can just do whatever they want.
Absolutely. That's
What's
all I
your
got.
situation?
Yeah, that's all I got. Curious to see who else from state. It's only been, Frazier, Childs, and Marsh. There might be more, obviously, that come, but I feel like you got to say it again. Shout out to Smith's original coaching staff. They did a good job. And then, obviously, it seems like Fitz is getting the guys going. He did hire a strength coach from Central. Formerly was at Iowa, so that's a nice little pickup. Still, and then, obviously, Max Bola, former Spartan Dog, is the co-D coordinator. Curious to see who we hire on the offensive side of the ball. But that's all I got, KB. I know you got one more thing, and then we can do some Bowl Mania.
Yeah, I mean, Heisman. We didn't talk about it at all last weekend.
This year's been...
It's been such... I'm not going to call it a disappointing year. Teams have changed the way that they played. And it's in a direct response to first downs not being clock stoppages, out of bounds not being clock stoppages until that window. And it's shortened games, so stats aren't being put up the same. I'm happy that Fernando Mendoza won it. I think if you look at stats-wise, Diego Pavia probably would have won it, but in his two biggest games, he didn't necessarily have the best results. He lost his two big games that maybe got them in. And that guy's just annoying as fuck at this point. I think everyone was rooting for him.
I don't mind it, but it was a little bit too much. He won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I always kind of think about is this is just a media story for the most part. Like, you look at instances where people don't win. Like Jeremiah Love, people are like, he should be he's put up the least amount of yardage out of any running back ever invited.
And he got invited, and Kenneth Walker did not.
Yeah, and again, this is the thing I'll tell Spartan fans. The reason why is because people voted for Hutchinson and Stroud. There were two guys in the Midwest that were pulling all of the Midwest votes, and Kenneth Walker didn't have the media guys fighting for him in the same way. And in the one game that the national media watched, he left the game after 2 carries and like 5 yards. So, like, that's the reality of this award. Now, is Fernando Mendoza a good winner? Yeah, but he didn't put up wild stats. We're going to see kind of this trend of offenses playing slower and slower, eliminating all this wildness because of we need to protect the players and we need less plays. No, you just wanted more commercials. It's okay. That's why you added the 2-minute warning. But we can't call it a 2-minute warning because we don't want to be like the NFL because that's obviously about commercials. It's blah, 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 blah. 2-minute warning was originally instated because games would run long and they needed a 2-minute warning in case they needed to reset the clock, right? That's the reason why. It's because timekeepers would lose track on their watches to make sure. All right, everyone, make sure we're set. We're at 2 minutes. This is a warning. There's 2 minutes left in the half or 2 minutes left in the game. Those are original intent, not for player safety. And they just get to invent these things, right? They just get to say player safety, and then NCAA just gets to pour more money on top of this thing. Anyway, I probably think Pavia, with the stats that he put up, especially at Vanderbilt, probably should have won it because Fernando Mendoza's stats are going to be looked back on, and people are going to be like, how the fuck did this dude ever win the Heisman? He put up a stat line from like the 90s passing-wise. Like, it wasn't an explosive passing offense. But again, they blew out a bunch of teams, so he wasn't running the score up. So it's really difficult to look at. No, but like he personally wasn't putting it up.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
if
ran
you look
the
up
ball
their running totals, yeah, exactly. If you look up their running totals, especially in those blowouts, in the second half, they were just giving the ball. Like Maryland, I think of that game where they just fed Roman Hemby because he was previously there and he had like 90 yards in the second half. But anyway, have to give a shout out to him.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Jeremiah Love. Jacob Rodriguez is maybe the snub for
defensive.
me. He won every defense. Yeah, he won the best linebacker and defensive lineman award, which is basically like the front seven award, and then best defensive player, and he doesn't get an invite. I just don't get what voters are trying to do. Texas Tech has one of the most dominant defenses in the country, and he was the leader. He had, I believe, 7 forced fumbles, 4 picks on the season, over 100 tackles, and he doesn't even really get even acknowledged on a national stage in the way that he should have in a Heisman moment. And so I just, the award wasn't great this year, and I think part of that's the media hype, and part of that is player production. There wasn't any huge go-to moments, where you could kind of think about it. And then like maybe if you think about the Big Ten championship game, which probably decided it for a lot of voters between how Sayan and Fernando Mendoza performed. And that wasn't even like a great performance. Like Mendoza performed a little better, but it wasn't like a great world-class performance there. So it just sucks. Defenses have gotten increasingly better and offenses are playing way less plays. So we're seeing way less yards is honestly kind of the reality we're living in right now. But Pavia was intrinsically the best player on his team, the most impactful player. We saw Curtis Rourke put up better stats last year on a very similar Indiana team. So that's kind of in my mind too. But I think all glory goes to Indiana. It's their first Heisman winner, which I think is really cool. And you have to shout out what was at the time the worst college football university ever has been clawed back and is the number 1 overall seed, which I think is really fun. I do worry at times, though, that this award is going to become the MVP. It's already trending that direction where just the best player on the best team wins the award because that's the best player on the best team wins the award because that's how football is. I think with lack of people watching games, lack of national writers giving a fuck, paying attention, which we've seen throughout the year where we've seen teams that have lost games move up in the rankings after losing to unranked teams, right? I just feel like there's a huge collective lack of interest in some of this college football, its uniqueness, its funness, and that's honestly a growing concern for me. But congratulations, Fernando Mendoza. I just need to mention that.
I still can't believe we're not using any kind of, maybe we are, any kind of BCS computer was data. I feel like that was a decent system we had. We could still be using that as a tool with the playoff, but I don't think we are. Because the voters, as you said it, KB, nobody can watch all of college football. There's too many teams, there's too many games. And obviously the people that work for a team, like Graham Couch at Michigan State, guess where he is on Saturdays? He's at the Michigan State game.
14 hours.
Yeah, there's no way he can watch all the games. So, like, I don't know why we don't use computers and just, like, we've already thrown games in the algorithm already. And that was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Do it again, use it as a tool, and then obviously work off of that. That makes sense to me. That's smarter, not harder. But hey, I don't make money like college football does.
That's how we do basketball, right? Is Ken Pom. We have something similar in college baseball. It doesn't make any sense to not have a computer. The only thing I'll say is some of these computer systems that take in preseason, like,
get that out of there then.
Like preseason rankings, blue chip ratio. I get. I'm not saying that there isn't. But like I think it's what FPS or SP whatever S&P Plus, because Penn State had such good key metrics entering the season, and they only lost in 1-score games. They're like top 15 in the country still. So there's biases in this reporting data that we need to filter through and get us just to like, why don't we have a Ken Pom? Why don't we have a filter of, all right, there needs to be quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4 wins, and we value them based on this stuff. Mm-hmm. And, at the end of the season, we're like, because top 25 wins is bullshit. Because, for example, Vanderbilt went on the road, I believe, right, into Tennessee, or was it home game?
I can't remember.
Regardless, they went and played Tennessee, who was ranked top 25. They beat Tennessee, and then the committee goes, well, obviously they weren't worth the top
At
25
Tennessee.
ranking because Vanderbilt, at Tennessee. So you go on the road in very tough road environment. You get a win against what's, I'd say, like top 30, top 35 team, whatever you want to value them. Like, that's usually a quad one win, but because we have this arbitrary top 25 value metric that doesn't take into account home road splits or anything like that, they're like, oh, well, that actually magically wasn't a good win. It would have been a good win if it doesn't make any sense. So teams that are only beating top teams, so preseason rankings, which everyone says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alabama only made the playoff because they were ranked high to start the season. If Florida State wouldn't have jumped way up and stayed in the poll for 4 weeks after bad performances, Alabama wouldn't have been where they were at after their horrendous performance against the 6-6 team. So, like, people say this stuff doesn't matter, but it does. Because the people who are in charge of it say shit like Tennessee's a top 25 win until you beat them, then it's not top 25 win anymore because they left the top 25 polls because you beat them. It literally hurts your resume because you beat a team.
Yeah. Hopefully we figure it out better, KB. I digress.
Sorry.
Tangent alert. No, it's right. I would agree, KB. We got to figure. Hopefully they figure it out. But obviously, a bunch of people in a room, it doesn't seem to be working too great. But let's transition to Bowl Mania. One sec. We have a good amount of people in our group, KB. So I kind of love that. I tweeted it out. Yeah, I don't know who got it. I tweeted out the link. We have, 18 people in here or so. So that's cool. I don't know if you're listening, but if you listen, the top person, there's a tiebreaker with points to the championship. We're gonna give out $50, and then obviously between me and KB, it's $100. And obviously the $50 is out of our pocket, just because why? $25 each, make it interesting, make it fun, and hopefully people listen to the pod and shout us out. But I have my picks in until about the semifinals, KB. I know you probably do too. I know we have 2 games already out there. We'll talk about them quick. We had the South Carolina State Bulldogs and Prairie View A&M. Prairie View A&M had a big lead, and they squandered it. South Carolina State wins in triple overtime or something like that. I picked Prairie View A&M, so that was 0-1. And then obviously the next game, LA Bowl, which sounds like it's dead. Nobody was there. Washington beats Boise as expected, 38-10. That was one I think we're both 1-1, KB. So
yeah, we are. You got to remember too, though. They found out about that game like 8 days ago. Like,
true.
No, less than that.
How do you
They found
sell
out on
tickets?
it Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So less than that, you have to plan a flight to LA and buy tickets for a bowl game. Look, I know Washington and Boise are like on that half of the country, but they didn't have much time to plan that. So unless you're like in the area or maybe already planning on travel or you already have it figured out, like, why would you ever go?
Yeah.
Like that game should be later in the season so teams have time to prepare like long travel to LA, which is obviously expensive.
They're both out west. But yeah.
Yeah.
But for fans.
Yeah. All right, the next game is the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl.
Always got to say the whole thing. Always.
Yep. You got to get the plugs. Troy Trojans versus Jacksonville State Gamecocks. I have Troy in
Give me the Cox. Give me the old Rich Rod. I know he's not there anymore. He built a decent program there, KB. Hopefully they still keep it going. But I'm going to kind of just go against it on this one. I know Troy's been a good program, but I think the Gamecocks have kind of been better the last few years. And I like the name. It's fun. Why not? Go Cox, baby. I got the next game, the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. Old Dominion versus South Florida. I think Byron Brown, is he playing?
From what I read, is I've heard reports that he is preparing for the NFL draft.
And I think Old Dominion's quarterback might be in the portal. So I'm going to go with this, the better overall team. And I don't know if Golish is coaching, but I'm going to go USF. Give me the Bulls.
Taking the Bulls, just have a personal connection. Was my first dynasty in 2025. No real pick here. The last few years, I've tried to research teams and make good decisions. I'm just going all vibes this year. So give me the Bulls.
Hell yeah, me too. I got the next one, KB. I'll throw it over to you next. The 68 Ventures Bowl. I feel like this one's been around for a good while. We got the Raging Cajuns playing the Delaware Blue Hens. Give me Delaware, KB. They're newer to the FBS. They made a bowl game. You'd love to see it. Similar helmets to Michigan, so that's not great, but Joe Flacco here, his ghost is still around the NFL league. So give me the Blue Hens, and yeah, good for them. They're doing decent, moving up to the FBS.
It's because they have similar helmets to Michigan.
Fair enough.
My favorite bowl, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We got Kennesaw State Owls versus Western Michigan Broncos. I'm going to take the Broncos in this. I actually like this team.
Me too.
I think they do a lot of good things offensively. This is actually a team I know a little bit. And I just think overall, whenever you put out their performance and their skill level, Western just does so many good things that they can put together this team. And I just think this team's going to continue to get better as the year grows on, because I know they've been beat up at times. So excited to watch. This is one of the games Friday, this Friday. Hopefully I'll be able to check in on it at work at times, but I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, I will also want to shout out Kennesaw State here, KB. Their coach, I think last year they were like 4-8 or something. It's their second year along with Delaware, I think, or it might be I think it's their second year moving up to FBS, and they went 10-3. I don't care what league you're in. That is impressive as fuck. You got to shout it out. You have to say it. But I'm also going with Western just because of home vibes. I know one of the players. I'm a homer for him. Tate Halleck, good kid. Is on his like 27th year, and he's doing a good job. And I don't know his name right now, KB, but the Western coach is great. They always have decent running backs, and got to go for the home MAC team in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. The next one is the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Memphis Tigers and then North Carolina State Wolfpack. Give me North Carolina State. This could be a fun, close game, KB. This is a Group of 5 team, playing up to that competition. Memphis's coach is leaving. Not sure if he's coaching the bowl game. I'm just going to go usually with a more athletic team here with the better players. Memphis might be close, but give me NC State.
Yeah, I just think there's been a lot of chaos around that Memphis University. There's been talks about that quarterback and not everything working out. The coaches talk about leaving. Give me NC State as well.
Coach is gone. They're getting Southern Miss's coach, who was also at Marshall last year. So he's moving around. He kind of got screwed over. So next game, KB, I have on the pick'em is in the order of dates is the playoff. You okay with that?
Yep, we're moving straight through. Whatever the dates come, Let's come.
Do it. Okay. This is a home game for Oklahoma, so we have Bama going to Oklahoma. I don't know the spread. We're just doing a pick 'em for the Bowl Mania, KB. This is a rematch. Oklahoma won at home, I believe. Give me Oklahoma again. I think the defense is the difference here. I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but I think Mateer can get a little. I don't know how his hand's doing, but hopefully he's 100%. Venables and his defense is coming downhill. And if they can get to that quarterback, Ty Simpson, who I do like, when he is locked in, KB, he looks good. But the last few games have not looked so great. They pressure him. That's the difference. Give me Oklahoma at home, harsh environment. Give me a Deion Burks generation game too.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. This is maybe the best matchup we'll see. Both of these coaches got plenty of time to prep and get ready for this bowl game. Really great offensive mind in DeBoer, along with that staff, and really great defensive mind over there with Venables and their staff. So they're going to have some stuff drawn up. I just think it's very difficult to beat teams twice. We saw it in the Alabama-Georgia, where Georgia, got worked by Alabama a bit in the regular season and then went the other way in the title game. I just think this is another example of it. I think they're going to find answers to the protection for this. They're going to find plays that Ty Simpson's going to be able to get to if they're getting overwhelmed with pressure with this extra bowl time. One of the big players that is looking to come back is R. Mason Thomas for Oklahoma. If he's ready, healthy, able to play in this game, I'd probably lean Oklahoma. And I know the reports are coming out that obviously he's going to be good to go and maybe he's coming back, but it's going to be interesting, and I expect another defensive battle. But Alabama outgained them by about 240 yards, and it was 4 turnovers, bad muffed punt. So many things went poorly when they first played Oklahoma last time. I expect a cleaner game and a W for Alabama.
I love that we're going opposite there, KB. I love it. Next game, the U is going to Texas A&M. I love this game, and I want to shake it up. Because we talked about Miami getting in, and Miami's going to win this game. That's my pick. Give me the U. Okay, I need Carson Beck to figure it the fuck out and not make a mistake and then not blame everybody else for it. Because that's what he did in both losses, KB. Terrible look. After transferring from Georgia, Miami probably, like Texas Tech, they backed up the Brinks truck to pay this team. They could be really good. Tony, the freshman receiver, he's a fucking dog. If Carson Malachi, yeah, he's a dog. I haven't watched a lot of Miami. This is a gut feeling for me, KB. I think A&M's been good, but when they played Texas had their number. That if I'm Miami, if I'm Cristobal, I'm watching that tape. I know that was at Texas. This is at A&M. This is a home game for them. Is Jeff going? We should figure that out. Shout out Jeff. But give me Miami to stir the pot a little bit, make it an interesting playoff. I want an upset this time, KB. Let's go with the U here.
He had reservations reserved, so I believe he's planning. So
that's
shout out
still
Jeff.
Good for you, Jeff.
I am also taking Miami.
Look at us.
This is kind of a curse because if I picked A&M and they lost, I'd feel bad. But all in all, I just think that there are holes in this A&M team that were kind of covered up due to the difficulty of schedule they played. Where there was a lot of opportunities for them to blow out teams, and there was just some inconsistency week in and week out. I think the extra time, look, Carson Beck had to transfer this team, right? And he was nursing an injury where he had to get off-season surgery.
True, I forgot about that.
So more time to practice, more time to get ready for this game. I really like that. And we've seen teams put up numbers on this A&M defense throughout the years, especially downfield passing. Now, it's going to be all about protection. Can they protect against this really good Texas A&M front line, Cassius Howell, and everyone combined? Because if you have time against this Texas A&M, the secondary hasn't been terrific at times. They've also let up some ground games and chunks. So what does this look like? I'm going to take Miami. I don't think it's maybe a good decision. I think A&M here is the better team, but I just think there's going to be at least one fluke this weekend where maybe a team that we don't think should wins this game, a team that isn't favored wins. So give me Miami. I like the spunk of this team. I think Carson Beck has been here a lot, and I just think, especially with all the things with your offensive coordinator taking over Kansas State job, he's going to be focused on a billion different things. Maybe his game plan isn't as electric or refined as maybe you need to, and I'm going to take Miami.
Love that, KB. I love that we're on the same page. Sorry, Jeff, but I hope that happens. Hopefully it's a fun time. Next game, first round playoff game, is Tulane rematch at Ole Miss. I just did a fun bracket for fun. I want Ole Miss to make a run. Give me Trinidad Chambliss, the homer guy. Give me that coach from the D coordinator. Fuck Lane Kiffin. Let's go Rebels.
Also taking Ole Miss here. I just think the talent disparity is too large for this Tulane team to overcome. It's a hosted game. If this was a neutral site, maybe there'd be more of an opportunity here. But we've seen these playoff games, teams that usually have more time to prepare and are better, usually don't get upset week one.
Yeah. Next one, KB, another game that's probably going to be a blowout. JMU goes out to Oregon. I really want to pick JMU. They were my first team in our dynasty, KB, and I truly love the Dukes. They've earned their way here. I mean, FCS champions with Signetti, they went like 11-1, 10-2, and then with the new coach who's getting hired again elsewhere. So if JMU keeps going, KB, and winning double-digit games a year, that's just a shout out to the program because that's truly phenomenal what they're doing. But I think Oregon's gonna boat race them, unfortunately. I'm taking the Ducks, but I hope JMU puts up a good fight because if you're gonna put two Group of 5 teams in the committee, you gotta hope that one of them makes a close game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's reality. We saw a bunch of blowouts last year when there weren't Group of 5, so I don't think that'd be a fair estimate. We saw SMU get absolutely boat raced. We saw Tennessee get absolutely clusterfucked. So if we have 2 blowouts this year, is it really that different because they're a Group of 5 teams? Don't let your big media bias that control these big conferences and want to squeeze money out of this decide that. No, I don't think this game's going to be close. Twitter was really, really, really fun between these two. So if you have any opportunity, check on these. There was a slow motion highlight of Oregon, and like JMU's account was like, man, are these guys really this slow?
I saw that. That was funny.
It was a lot of fun. And then there was like a highlight of JMU like sped up, and they're like, oh my God, what are they feeding people out there at JMU? It was a lot of fun. It's a really good time, taking it lighthearted, but Yeah, Oregon has everything put together. They have everything in front of them to still win. This is a team that lost at home in a close game that got away from them in the fourth quarter after it started downpouring and a few turnovers to the number one team in the nation, right? Like, this is a really, really good football team that's going to have more time to put together reps, to put together time. And whenever you do that with how injured their pass offense has been, I think whenever you do that and you ever give these really good, well-coached teams time, they always come out on top. So give me Oregon.
Yeah, back to regularly scheduled bowl games, KB. And I'm off of work starting off on Thursday night. I got a wedding, and then I'm off until, I'll be at home, but I work a little bit, but I'm watching a lot of bowl games. I love it. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, obviously out at Boise. It'll be a cold one. Washington State playing Utah State. I believe they'll be in the same conference next year. I'm not sure if Utah State's moving. That might be not right. They are. And I can't remember who Wazoo hired. They usually hire decent guys. But give me the Cougars. I've always been a fan of this team, the state school that doesn't get as much love. Obviously, the flag's always at game day. I love Utah State, but since Jordan Love gave us a scare at Spartan Stadium, I don't really like them too much anymore. So give me the Cougs. Go Wazoo.
Also taking Wazoo here. This is going to be. There's a lot of things that Wazoo has to overcome with how many changes are coming to their program, especially with kind of just the litany of weird things with the Pac-12. They got Michigan State. They were left out of joining a new conference. They were left out. They're getting bullied by their school. So how's that playing? This is a really important game for them. I think Wazoo comes out there ready to fight, ready to go get a victory.
Love that, KB. You got the next one. Let's go. Let you have a role here with saying these names.
The Bushes Boca Raton Bowl, the Toledo Rockets versus the Louisville Cardinals. Give me Louisville. Brom's still there. I think he's a really good coach. Candle sounds like maybe flirting with a couple other jobs. Where's he at?
I think he's going to UConn.
Let me
check that, brother. No. Louisville is also my pick, KB. Who's their quarterback since Miller Moss got benched? I was pretty high on him last year and this year.
Yeah, Jason Candle is at UConn. So the coach is gone.
I love Toledo. They're always a good back team.
Yeah, they play really good. Really, I don't know. Good is like but like an attacking style defense. Them in Miami of Ohio, I always kind of think of that they're so aggressive that they
Chuck
get
Martin.
away with a lot, especially at their Chuck Martin.
Like it for a lifetime. We're both picking Louisville. I don't know who the quarterback is, but Brom's still there. I don't think he goes to Michigan, KB. So give me Brom in the Bushes Boca Raton Bowl. The next one's an easy bowl. I'll just say it. New Orleans Bowl. Have some fun with that one, guys. Let me get a sponsor. Maybe New Orleans, the city, sponsors it. Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Southern Miss's coach is gone. He was only there for a year. He had a mass player following from Marshall. Probably going to happen again. So give me Western Kentucky. I don't know if they still have the same air raid offense, KB, that they had with Bailey Zappi. Shout out, great name. And then the guys before him. But give me the Hilltoppers. Great uniform game. Great. For them, they have great helmets and great uniforms, and I like that. Give me the Hilltoppers.
And I want to correct myself. Miller Moss was injured, and that's why he wasn't playing in one of those games. So
he'll be back.
I thought he got benched. There were people laughing and saying he got benched. That's why you don't get your news source. You always got to check but confirm. Sorry, we're at Western Michigan, I believe, or Western Kentucky.
Yes.
Give me Western Kentucky here. You got to root for them. They do so much fun things with their mascot. They're the towels. Love that. Let's go.
Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, UNLV, Ohio. I like this game, KB. This could be a really fun one. I think both teams are pretty upper echelon in their conferences. But I'm going to go UNLV. They won 10 games again. Calderana, whatever the quarterback's a transfer from Auburn, I believe. He's athletic, moves around. I know the coach from UNLV. I can see his face, Dan Mullen. I think, he does a good job. Can't win the Mountain West, but 10-3 again, and give me them over the Bobcats.
I'm taking UNLV as well. We're agreeing way too much, Quist. Not liking it so far. But UNLV, obviously their offense is really explosive. They do a lot of good things in the run game, and I just think that as good as Ohio is, and Parker Navarro, I believe, who's still their quarterback with how long he's been there, I just really like this UNLV team, and I think they match up pretty well in the run game against them.
Got it. You can take the next one. This one's fun. I like this next
The
one.
Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, Cal and Jaron Kwe Sagapatule, I think.
Great job.
Is returning to Hawaii to face Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. I'm going to take Cal in this. I think this is going to be a legacy game, him returning back. I think he's going to throw for like a bajillion yards. He recommitted to the university, which I think is just terrific, and we don't see enough in college football. I hope that they can kind of start building around him, get some better guys, especially on defense. If you look at some of their games this year, they were just outscored a lot. He had a few freshman moments, but it was mostly just the defense. I think that they're a much, much better team than Hawaii. I think this is going to be, especially with the time off and ability to travel there, that it isn't like a quick week turnaround with all that travel. I think this is going to be a blowout.
Could be a blowout, but I'm going to go Hawaii. They're at home. This is a fun game just to pick against Cal. We're agreeing too much anyways, so I like that I pick against it. But yeah, Hawaii beat Stanford, which is, and obviously that was a decent Stanford-Cal game. So gotta go with the Rainbow Warriors at home. That's a fun one. Next one, the Game Above Sports Bowl. I missed the Quicken Loans. I missed the old name for this one, Kiwi. This because this is the one that's in Detroit. It's always a MAC school with a mediocre Big Ten school. We got the Central Michigan Chippewas, Northwestern Wildcats. I got to go with my old love, KB. Northwestern Wildcats, I've been in love with them since 2013. They're my second favorite team in the Big Ten, always and forever. Give me the Cats in a hard-nosed game. I think Central can put up a decent fight, but give me the Cats in Detroit.
Yeah, Northwestern's going to murder this Chippewas team. This Chippewas team is very limited offensively. They can basically only run the ball. I know because I watched them try to do anything else against Michigan, and it did not go well. And Northwestern actually played Michigan pretty dang well. I know the turnovers were a big factor of that, but I just think that this offense has so little to do, and this Northwestern team is very strong, especially in the defensive front. It's not easy to run on them. You really have to create seams, and I just don't think Central Michigan has that, so give me Northwestern as well. All right, now the Rates Bowl. This is right down the road for me at Chase Field. This is usually a Big Ten and then either a Big 12 or Mountain West school, I believe. New Mexico Lobos and Minnesota Golden Gophers. I'm going to take the Gophers here. Now, New Mexico is really good. Jason Eck. I was able to watch Michigan play them this year. I believe this is their first 9-win season in like over 50 years or something like that. Pretty impressive for his first year there. He was previously at Wyoming. We'll see if he'll be able to sustain his success going forward. But I like this Minnesota team. Drake Lindsay in this offense, we're really finding its stride back half of the year. I would expect some points in this game, if anything. So really looking forward to how this team plays out. And you got to row the boat, at some time. He's such a goofy guy over there. So PJ Fleck, I think that this is going to be a pretty big win for Minnesota.
Fuck PJ Fleck. Weird fucker jumping in. Like, when he beat State, it was like I got a crowd surf with my team. Get him out. Give me the Lobos. Give me Eck. I love him as a coach. Seems like he's doing things well. I believe Pavia was here. Or was that New Mexico State? I can't remember. New Mexico State. I'm wrong.
Mexico State.
Either way, the Lobos having a good year. You love it. They beat UCLA, I believe, too. Which kind of, I know for a pick.
Devon Dampier was there.
Dampier. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Matt Neal, another shout out on the pod, he was in a pick'em, and like 80% of people got out of the pick'em because New Mexico beat UCLA. Kind of a fun fact. Next one, the ServPro First Responder Bowl, FIU, and the UTSA Roadrunners. I don't know a lot about either team, KB. Give me the Roadrunners and a great logo.
I agree. That's the same reason I picked them. I love UTSA. Really fun logo. I believe McCown is their quarterback. He's a lefty. They won some.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think you're right. I know Max Johnson is in the portal, and that's what I was thinking of because they played each other last year.
Yeah. No, but I really like this offense and this team. At times, had some pretty big wins on the year, so I think they're able to pull this one out.
Go ahead.
All right, we got the Go Bowling Military Bowl. This is Pitt versus East Carolina. I'm taking Pitt in this game. They have the freshman QB that's going to continue to build on him. He's getting more and more reps. So I'm going to ride with them in this offense. ECU has put together a really good season. All things considered with how much that they lose out there in the portal every single year. Michigan played them a few years ago, and I've been kind of following them ever since. I followed one of their news guys, and I see his posts a lot. But they're able to put together a pretty good season, 8-4 in their conference. But Pitt's just a much better team. I think this game has a really good opportunity for Pittsburgh to put up some numbers, especially offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Pitt here, KB. I was looking at the quarterback for ECU, former Spartan Dog, Kattenhauser. He's in the portal. So give me Pitt. That's an easy pick. No problem. Next one, the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Great one. It's the New York Stadium, KB. Sometimes it's an ugly game. We got the CFP losers, all right? We got Penn State and Clemson. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Hey, in the first round of the playoffs, we're gonna have Penn State Clemson. If you told me that at the beginning of the year and be like, "Dang, what a season! Oh my God, that's gonna be so much fun." Maybe some limited offenses, but great defenses. Like, nope, they're in the Pinstripe Bowl. Everyone, I'm taking Clemson in this one. Really like their school. I just think that with Campbell coming in, there's going to be some chaos there, and it might end up some things because when does he start coming on? What does it look like? They lost a lot of players. How much is everyone bought in? How much is everyone going to be kind of going out and ready to move on, especially a lot of their defensive players? But the QB, Grunkenmeyer, I believe his name is, looked decent down the stretch, and they were able to run the hell out of the ball with Singleton and Katron Allen. So if they're both willing to play, that does pose threats as Clemson has a horrendous rushing defense on the year. But really excited for this Clemson team. I got to root for them.
Nice. Next one, Wasabi Fenway Bowl. This one's in Boston. We got UConn having a great year. Their coach is gone, though, playing the Army Black Knights, coming up a loss. When I think about the bowl season, KB, and I think about Army and Navy, and even Air Force sometimes, they win these games. Because teams, even though they have all the time to prepare, so do their defenses. And I feel like the academies do well on defense in these games. And sometimes I could be wrong. Maybe the option gets shut down, but I just like Army here. I actually had my pick to UConn, but switched it. I just think sometimes in these bowl games, people don't know how to stop the triple option. Give me the Black Knights. Always go Army beat Navy. Let's go.
Look at Oklahoma last year. They lost to Navy.
Exactly.
I'm taking UConn, though. Skylar Bell is one of the more explosive athletes in the country. I believe he was up for the Benardic or whatever, the best receiver award. So, yeah. UConn wins this game. I think that they're going to cap off a tremendous season where they won a lot of big games for them. I believe they're looking to join a conference next year officially. So, good for them. Good for them in their transition, and good luck.
You know which one?
Kendall. I don't remember off the top. The MAC, maybe?
That makes sense because NIU's going. So, you want to do the next one? It's a good one.
Yeah. The Pop-Tarts Bowl, probably the best presentation and the best use of sponsorship in any bowl.
Yes.
If bowl games actually put this much effort, attention to detail, like whoever their marketing coordinators are over there are geniuses. Because they do so much to make this bowl game fun, interesting, and entertaining. We have Georgia Tech and BYU. BYU, I think, is going to be really pissed off with how their season ended. They have a true freshman quarterback. Give me the Cougars. I think that this is going to be a statement game that you guys left us out of the playoffs. We got absolutely boned. They didn't complain. They didn't decline a bowl game because that'd be soft-ass shit. They're just going to show up and blow out Georgia Tech is my prediction.
Is Haynes King playing?
He has to.
Give me Georgia Tech.
He has to be playing.
Put the team on your back door one more time. I have to do it. I have to. I like your thoughts, OKB, but I don't like BYU and religious schools have
I
too
got the
much
next
money.
one. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Shout out Snoop.
Is this at Arizona?
Miami, Ohio. What? Yeah, the Arizona Bowl. This is the one in Tucson.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Versus Fresno State Bulldogs. I mean, what Fresno State has been able to produce year in and year out with all their coaching changes, with all their stuff, I got to root for them. Give me Fresno State in this game. Miami, Ohio has a terrific defense. We see that year in and year out. They're so aggressive. They get downhill, and I just think a much superior passing attack in Fresno State is going to be able to handle that. In the MAC, you don't usually have as well as passing offenses to handle against. They're usually a bit more run-happy, maybe RPO, and I think Fresno State will be able to take the top off a couple times in this game and win it.
Fair enough, KB. Give me the Red Hawks. They're my team in my offline dynasty. And obviously Chuck Martin, Laker for a lifetime. He has that team going. I don't think he goes anywhere as a coach, but he has Miami rolling. They're always in the MAC championship, and I think the defense shows up here. How do you say this? Azleta, New Mexico Bowl? I don't know what Azleta is. Probably some insurance company. North Texas is playing San Diego State. I like this North Texas offense. I don't even know who the quarterback is, if he's staying or leaving. Mustamaker, I think's his name. If he's going with the coach at Oklahoma State. But I think I like this offense a lot. San Diego State's kind of been a sleeper team. KB, they're 9-3. They were almost to the Mountain West Championship, but give me the Mean Green having a heck of a year. 11-2. That offense puts up numbers and yards. Let's go Mean Green.
You're about as far off as you could be. This Letta Bowl is a local casino and resort in New Mexico. So
That's
maybe
right.
a couple magnitudes off, but shout out to Isleta. Obviously, huge native population in there that can
Absolutely.
run those
I
casinos.
love that.
Give me Mean Green as well. I know that they're going to be missing their coach and everything around them. I don't know if they're still playing, but I just think this is a much better put together team.
Yes, and I think this, KB, this bowl has been around for a long, long time. The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl has been always tried and true. I think I had it in NCAA 06. So shout out to them for staying strong during this crazy bowl name shit. We got Virginia and Mizzou. I love this game. I'm looking right now. I have Virginia picked, but I'm a big Bro Prbula guy. I want to switch my pick, but I'm not. I'm going to stay with Virginia. They had their chance to be in the playoff, and they squandered it. And hopefully they come back angry. Their coach seems decent. Give me Virginia. Give me the Who's. To get a win to make an 11-3 season, really good for Virginia. They're usually a forgot about team in the ACC. I love.
Yeah,
Mizzou,
give me
though.
Missouri. They're not. Virginia's the fakest team maybe in the country after Missouri, and then ahead of both of them is probably like Tennessee or something. No, I mean Missouri lost two of their games when their starting quarterback went out. That impacted them mightily. Their quarterback was able to come back last week of the year, playing his only game against A&M, which was like the high-stakes game. I think he's going to have time to come back, get through that offense. He has 2 more years there. I think that they're going to be in a much better shape than they were at the end of the year. It's really hard to take 3-4 weeks off of injury, and the backup is doing absolutely nothing. You come back, and you're just not in the same rhythm that you were when you left. He's a top-tier athlete. I think he was really limited in his leg usage when he came back, too, from the injury. He probably wasn't 100%. So give me Missouri in this game.
Got it. Go ahead.
The next up is the Kinder's Texas Bowl. LSU Tigers versus the Houston Cougars. Too much chaos at LSU right now. I don't trust anything Kiffin or anything he does. LSU is probably a much better team, but this offense looked anemic. I don't know and don't care.
I don't know how that works.
You can probably look it up. You can coach. I do know that because a couple of years ago when who's the coach
Fickle.
at Wisconsin now? Fickle, yeah, he coached the Wisconsin team in the Rate Bowl, actually, down here. Give me Houston in this game, though. I just think too much chaos at LSU. Their offense and defense just weren't working together at the end of the season. Even though their defense had improved remarkably over the course of the year, their offense is just so disjointed, so dysfunctional with kind of how much they've lost, with Nussmeier being injured for much of the year, getting benched. It's just been an absolutely massive crapshoot for the majority of the year. So give me Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to go LSU. I don't know why. This was just a gut pick. Kiffin is not coaching this game. He's focusing on recruiting, and Frank Wilson, I believe, is coaching the game. But yeah, I just think they have a little more talent, even though it is a dumpster fire there, KB. Just give me LSU to win the Texas Bowl. Next one, the J-Lab Birmingham Bowl. Those are headphones, people. Georgia Southern Eagles and App State. App State's 5-7, but I just like App State as a program. Give me App State and the Mountaineers. Don't know much about either team, KB, but I just like App State a little bit more as a program than Georgia Southern.
Yeah, App State got the benefit of other teams not making bowl games and choosing not to play, so they were one of the teams that was originally on the outside looking in a bowl season. Give me Georgia Southern. I like this team. I like the Eagles here. App State, I can't root for them really at all. I know everyone else is a fan of them, but personal beef with the University of Michigan. I do love their program. They have a really cool stadium tucked away in the mountains. And I just can't root for them in any of these games. So
fair enough. Next up, we have the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. We got the Chants from Coastal Carolina playing Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Don't know much about either team here, KB. I know the Chants fired their coach after, what's your expectations at Coastal Carolina? Give me the Chants. I like their team. I like their color scheme. My brother went there when he lived down in Myrtle Beach. Give me the Chants to beat Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. It's always interesting to see the disconnect sometimes between like a casual fan's expectation and maybe the boards and who all they think. Tim Beck has gone 8-5, 6-7, 6-6 this year. That wasn't enough. Jamie Chadwell went 5-7, 11-1, 11-2, 9-3. I believe he left.
Where's he at?
Coaching from there to go to Liberty. which he has coached Liberty from 13-1 to 8-4 and 4-8. So it's kind of blown up in his face. So maybe they hire him back, possibly. I don't know. But Tim Beck just hasn't gotten the job done, all things considered, for the university. And I just think when you have a coach get fired like that, I think the win can kind of get taken out of your sails. So give me Louisiana Tech. Give me the Bulldogs. Bulldogs, if that's your school mascot, change it. It's boring, stupid, dumb, lazy. There's 900 schools with it. Just need to throw that out there.
Fair enough. We got some good matchups.
I'll do the next one.
We got some nice matchups coming up here.
Yep, the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl. I believe this one, is this played in
Memphis,
Nashville?
Oh, let me look.
I believe it's in Tennessee, but we have Tennessee Volunteers 8-4, Illinois Fighting
Nashville.
Illini.
You're right.
Yeah, just all the music. I figured they weren't going to go to Memphis if they said Music Bowl, but yeah, give me Tennessee. It's basically a home game for them. Illinois, we have the battle of the ugly oranges, in my opinion. So just give me Tennessee. I think Illinois has been on fraud watch all year. I wasn't very invested. I know they were one of your sleeper teams. They had a big upset against USC in kind of a weird game. But overall, I think Tennessee is a much better team here, and I think that they're going to be able to figure it out. In Tennessee, Aguilar wasn't maybe the best quarterback for them, but they basically had a dude that got ran out of town at App State, QB their team for them to a pretty successful season. So I'm interested to see who they can get maybe through the portal with some of these guys and produce a really good offense, because their defense struggled a bit this year, all things considered, with how much they lost.
Give me the Fighting Illini and the Fighting Berts. I like Luke Altmaier. They have 3 or 4 running backs that are decent, and their defense is usually okay. I know they've been better here and there, but I like Fighting Illini. Give me the Big Ten, KB. Next game, the Valero Alamo Bowl, also another sponsor that's been around for a long time. USC and TCU. I really like the TCU quarterback, KB. I believe Sonny Dykes is there now. I believe that's right. But give me USC.
Yeah, he's still there. He's been there for a while.
Give me USC. Who's it? Maeva. I almost said Maeva, and then Lemon, who won the receiver award. I like that offense. Those two have a connection, and obviously USC's offense can run the ball too. Defense is hit or miss, so TC might dice them up. This could be a high-scoring shootout. Give me the Trojans. Fight on.
Points in this game. I think USC has a little bit talent edge defensively, and I think that the balance that USC brings can really be a boon in this game, keeping TCU off center as they continue to run that 3-3-5. If you force them to cover both, you can really exploit them offensively. Next one, the ReliaQuest Bowl. We have Iowa versus Vanderbilt. I'm taking Iowa. I think Pavia is going to be fully checked out. I think it's multiple interception game. I think that this is a classic Iowa, locks down, gets gritty with it. And this is Gronowski's last game, maybe, outside of FBS, one of the all-time FCS players. Huge game for him. So I think that this is going to be an opportunity for him to come out on top. Iowa get to 9 wins and have, overall, not maybe the best
season in Iowa history.
Baby. But an Iowa offense that started to find their groove, especially in the second half of the season, once they started running Gronowski a lot more, started using his legs, and I just think this is going to be a huge opportunity for him here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite matchups of the bowl season, KB. I love this one. But give me Vandy. I think Pavia does okay here. Maybe he makes mistakes, but they're just good. I think their offense is a lot better overall than we think, and they can. I know Iowa might be able to shut them down, but I think they have a little bit too much. Maybe with some more time to obviously watch film. But I'm looking forward to this one, KB. This one, when I saw the matchup, I was like, this is fun. Similar color schemes. And it should be a fun one in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Not sure where that one is played, though. Next one is the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. I believe this is in New Mexico. Arizona State and Duke. Give me Duke. Sam Levitt's gone. Dillingham might be going to Michigan. Who knows what's true or not true. Levitt had a bad look. KB not going to the dinner to end the season. He's gone. He's also in the portal. But give me Duke and Mensa. He's got a bag. He's staying at Duke, and I like this team.
Sutton Bowl is in El Paso.
So close.
Texas, so very close. I mean, just right across the border.
Literally.
I'm gonna take Duke in this game. I have all the same things. I think that this Arizona team, they have a lot of fight in them. Dillingham is a tremendous, tremendous coach. I just think that they're very limited offensively with Jess Sims at QB. We kind of saw that how they're able to just grind out games, and Duke has a very capable offense that I think can push this ASU defense around a little bit, especially through the air with Mensa. So give me the Duke Blue Devils. All right. Cheez-It, one of my personal all-time favorite snacks, Citrus Bowl. Michigan, I feel like, has been in this
Extra
bowl
toasty.
1,000 times.
Extra toast.
I'm taking Michigan in this game only for the fact that I'm a Michigan fan. I do not think they're going to win this game, but I thought they had zero chance of winning the game last year against Alabama, and maybe that was an all-time fluke. But I think that, I think we're going to see either the best or worst of Underwood. I think this Texas defense is really, really good. We saw what they were able to do at the start of the season, say, and really hold him in check. They were able to really turn over who's the Oklahoma quarterback?
Mateer?
I'm blanking. Mateer. I wanted to say like Mendoza, something in between Mendoza and Mateer. But Mateer, so I think that this defense is really good, but it sounds like they're out a couple players, including some secondary guys. I think this is a huge opportunity for a lot of these young guys to audition, right? Because you got to think, I know people are invested to sit out, but this is an opportunity to be like, hey, our coach is gone. Let me ball out, and then enters the transfer portal to get it back. So I think both teams are going to be playing really hard, and hopefully Michigan plays a really competitive, high-intensity game, and Underwood has a good game because, there's possibilities that he'll leave. I know teams are calling him. I know internally they're saying he's staying, but internally they've been off for about everything for the last, 4 years, so maybe 10 years if I really go back to looking at it a little closer. But, yeah, they haven't really been connected with what's going on. So I don't believe that this team is going to stop fighting. I think that this team's going to be locked in, and I think that, maybe Sharon not being an absolute bitch-made coward leading them on the sidelines might be an absolute boon to how aggressive and how, forceful they are. And obviously, hopefully Marshall's back healthy. So we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough. Hook 'em. Fuck Michigan always and forever. Can't ever pick them. Well, I can, but I don't want to pick them right now because I hate them. And it's a dumpster fire. Welcome to what we had to deal with a couple years ago. But maybe Michigan makes it out better, KB. Hopefully Arch dices you guys up. I think this Texas defense is pretty good. If Bryce can't figure it out, it could be a long day at offense for you guys, KB. But let's go to the next game, and then we can figure out what we want to do for the quarterfinals and whatnot later down the road, or if we want to do it now. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. That's a mouthful. We have Nebraska without Dylan Raiola playing Utah. Give me Utah. Willingham, the coach, gets the guys going. Their defense is amazing. I believe Dan Pierre would probably play. If he doesn't, I still like Utah on the defense. If Nebraska doesn't have Raiola, their defense sucks, and they're a good running back, but that's all they're going to have. Give me the Utes. Let's go Utah.
Utah as well, yeah. It's Willingham's last game. He's
really?
Retiring at the end of the year.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I believe.
hurts.
Unless I got scapegoated, I thought I saw an announcement at the end of the year that he's planning on coaching his last game at the bowl game. So it's been a long, awesome tenure, winning as coach, I believe, in Utah history. Obviously, he came in following Urban directly and has led them to a bunch of success, a bunch of Pac-12 championships. So all the best to them. I think that this style of play against Rule style of play, they're going to get mauled in the run game, and it's not going to be pretty. So Utah by a lot.
Yeah, he has stepping down for 21 seasons. That is insane.
Yeah, really, really impressive.
Okay, keep we're at the...
Yeah, Chris,
we're
going to cover the quarterfinals. Who are we going to preview? All right, Georgia versus Tulane or Ole Miss? No, wait until the results happen.
Okay, we'll skip down. I'm scrolling. Okay.
Rice Owls versus the Texas State Bobcats in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Let's drop some bombs in this game. Sorry, that's so obvious, but I had to say it. I'm taking Texas State here by a lot.
Me too. Yeah, give me the Bobcats. I feel like their program's decent. Rice is 5-7. Mediocre program, shouldn't be in a bowl game, honestly. Next one, KB, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. This one's been around for a while too. Navy, Cincinnati. I do like the Cincinnati team, KB. They were hot start. But like I said earlier about Army, I love these academy teams in bowl games. I just think it's hard to stop the triple option. Navy's got some with Horvath and Hindenach, whatever his name is. They're good. Give me Navy.
I'm taking Cincinnati in this game. I just believe Sorsby, he's both debuting for possibly a transfer portal opportunity because I doubt he stays at Cincinnati if he continues to play as well as he did this year. But overall, I just like the Cincinnati team. I believe that they're a tough team. They can really stop the run, and we watched them stop the run at times this year against Nebraska and a bunch of other teams. So give me Cincinnati.
Duke's Mayo Bowl. This is also a fun
Mayo
one.
Bowl.
Also a fun one like Pop
Wake
Start.
Forest Demon Deacons versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Mississippi State's 5-7 on the year. Demon Deacons are riding an 8-4 record. Give me Wake. I just really like this Wake team, all things considered. I know this Mississippi State team has been in a bunch of close matchups. We think back about their loss to Texas. They played a lot of teams close this year, but I just think Wake Forest is so sure of themselves that I like this team a little bit better. Now, the one thing that is going to be interesting is that the young true freshman quarterback that played against Ole Miss is going to be the quarterback for Mississippi State, leading them in this game. He's an athletic really freak, I'd say, high-end runner. But Jake Dickert, who was the who was the head coach of Washington State, is this team's head coach. He does so many fun things offensively. I think he gets to 9 wins, and then he's probably gone after next year as a real possibility because he has not turned this program around, but won a bunch of games. So give me Wake in this game.
Smallest FBS team, fun fact, with enrollment, Wake Forest. But give me Mississippi State, like you said, KB, the young quarterback taking over. I do like this Mississippi State coach. I know he's had a couple tougher years coming from Oklahoma, but I like their offense. They sling it around. They have very interesting concepts, and I like Mississippi State and want them to be successful. Obviously, another state school, so give me the Bulldogs, the most overused mascot, as we've talked about, KB. The Trust and Will Holiday Bowl, that's a new one. Trust and Will is a digital estate planning and probate company. Boring. We have Arizona and SMU. Give me SMU, KB. They were my hot team last year. I was right about them. It felt good. And Arizona's been decent this year, 9-3. Kind of a sneaky 9-3, but I like SMU. I like what they're doing there. They're in a conference and not getting paid to be there because they got deep pockets. Give me the Mustangs to end at another solid season going 9-4.
Yeah, this is the battle of pretty above average college QB play here between, high athletic guys and Noah Fafita and what's the SMU's QB's name? I can't think of his name.
Is it Jennings?
Jennings, yeah.
Both
of these guys are pretty good. I like Kevin Jennings. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think he's still there.
That. Anyway, I like Arizona in this game. I got to root for the, home school state, if you will, where I live down here. You got to root for Arizona. But I like Arizona and Fafita. I think this is one of his last games for the university. He's built a great tenure there. He's a little smaller, but SMU's defense has let up points all season. I don't think it's really going to be a problem. I think both teams are going to be able to score a lot, but Arizona has a slightly better defense, I believe. So give me Arizona.
That's the last game, KB, before we get to the semifinal and final. A lot of picks. I'm good, KB, with obviously taking our time as we get down the quarterfinal and semifinal games in the final. But I'm glad we're opening this up to people. I don't know who shared it, but we have a lot of people in the group, which I appreciate. We're going to give out $50 to the winner. And obviously, like I've said before, we have a gentleman's agreement between me and KB, $100. I'm 2-0, looking for the three-peat. Feels good. But it's a great time of the year, KB. We have a lot of bowls around the corner. It's hard it doesn't even feel like it's Bowl Mania to me yet. But obviously Friday, I don't know if we start Thursday or Friday, but obviously the first round is this weekend already, KB, Friday night. Looking forward to it. It's been a great, fun, entertaining year with a lot of drama. It's a soap opera, probably more to come. But always looking forward to it. Looking forward to breaking the games down and whatnot. But as always and forever, even though we're not playing or doing anything, go green.
Yeah, Chris, I got to correct you. The first games are tomorrow when this podcast will release. Tuesday, Troy and Jacksonville State play, and then Wednesday there's 2 games, and then Friday there's 2 games leading up to the third for the bowl games.
What do I know?
There's a lot of games, Chris read through all these with the dates on the top, didn't read one date.
Nope.
Can't read. Must be a Laker grad. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate all you guys for listening. Continue to give us, obviously, off-season coming up. Feel free to send ideas. Feel free to give us some stuff to talk about, anything interesting that you want us to cover, maybe outside of college football. I know both of us follow basketball pretty closely-ish, and then obviously hockey
Detroit
as well. I appreciate you guys, as always, as we continue to follow stuff. And with all that being said, sad that another year that we can't talk about MSU in a bowl game. I mean, it'd be so much more fun if we could actually talk about your team for once. It's been so obsessive, regular season ends and we're just always talking about Michigan, Quist. Yeah. I'm so sorry. But no, sorry, I'm giving Quist a hard time just because. With all that being said, appreciate you guys. Go Blue.
My North Star is Kenneth Walker. Don't forget that. For always and forever until we have another good year. Later, guys. Simple phrase.